Hello again, and thank you for joining us here on Faces of Italy. I'm Chantel, and today we have 3 great recipes to bring to you. We're going to start the day off with some baked ricotta, follow it up with a pepperoni pasta, and finish off with a peach, strawberry, and banana smoothie. Stay tuned, we'll be right back. Welcome back, and thank you again for joining us here on Faces of Italy. Today we are going to start out with a baked ricotta. This is a super easy, simple recipe. It's quick, our families love it, and I think you will too. So we're going to start off by preheating our oven at 350 degrees. You know what? We're going to get crazy and go 375. And double check that there's nothing on the inside, and we are good to go. We're going to grab a small mixing bowl. We'll start out with about 2 cups of ricotta. Throw it right in the bottom of the bowl here. Then we're going to be using the grated rind of half a lemon. If you have a smaller lemon, you're welcome to just use the smaller lemon. I have a half of a medium one here. You put it over your fine grater. And as soon as I get a little bit of that zest in the bottom, I'll go ahead and show you. Right. There we go. You can see right in the bottom of the bowl, those little yellow specks will be the lemon zest. Much more flavorful than you would assume for the amount. We'll set that over to the side. We also have 2 eggs that are going in. Throw in eggshells. It's way too early in the show for that. And we have some thyme. I have some fresh thyme here. If you don't have fresh thyme in your home, you're more than welcome to use dried thyme. All I'm going to do is start working it a little bit, and bring it in, and just chop it up a little bit. And as I'm putting it into the mixture, I'm going to rub it and break up those leaves in between my fingers and start getting all the scents out. You can start smelling it. That's wonderful. All right, so just those simple ingredients. And you stir it up until smooth. And if the rubber spatula is just not really doing it for you, stick it to the side and grab a fork. You want it all the way smooth and blended throughout. From here we have a couple different options for cooking. We could either do cupcake tins if you don't have ramekins that are able to go in the oven. I have fireproof ramekins here. They're 4 ounces a piece. We're just going to do 2, and I usually serve 2 of these per serving. Just go ahead and fill them all the way up to the top, leaving about 1/2 inch right before the border to give room for the rising. That's what the eggs will do for us. Awesome. All right, and grab my cookie sheet. And I did not grease the insides of these. You're welcome to put cupcake papers on the inside or to put a little Crisco just in case you're worried about sticking or if your pan is a little older. Let's grab my cookie sheet here, lay them on it, and put it in the oven for about 20 minutes or until they stop shaking right towards the middle. They're going to split a little bit and become golden brown on the edges. Right. And from there, we are going to serve it on a bed of spinach. We get our serving bowl here. And I like a big green, healthy spinach. I'm leaving the stems on. I like the stems. You're welcome to go through and pick them all off if you would like. We're really gonna go crazy here because this is a hearty, hearty dish. Here we go. Add a little tomato for pizzazz. All right, here we go. And I went ahead and pre-prepared one so that we could see what they were like in the cupcake tins. You can see here that they get golden brown right around the edges and the split just a little tiny bit. Now when I first took these out of the pan, they were a little more rounded. They flatten a little bit, and that is perfectly okay. Let's see if we can loosen one up here. Oh, that's beautiful. I'm gonna flip it right upside down. Here, you can see that. Here we go, do another one. Ooh, those are coming out so nice. Like I said, I usually do 2 per serving. Throw a little tomato here on the top. And some olive oil to drizzle, just for the spinach. All right, here we go, folks. It's quick, it's simple. There's only a few ingredients that most kitchens have. So we'll go ahead and put our baked ricotta over here. We're gonna take a quick break and we will be right back with you. Thank you. Welcome back, folks. Thank you again for joining us. Just a quick recap. We started out our day with some baked ricotta over a bed of spinach, and now we're gonna follow up with our second recipe, which is pepperoni pasta. We're gonna go ahead and get started with a little bit of olive oil in a skillet or a saute pan on medium-high heat. We're gonna cut up about 1/2 to 3/4 of a yellow onion, 2 red bell peppers, and some garlic. Throw that in your saute pan and get it going. There we go. Now you can either dice or chop or mince your onion, whichever your palate prefers. Some people like bigger, stronger pieces, and others like smaller minced pieces. I'm gonna get that right in the pan and start it cooking. Ooh, absolutely wonderful. And start on our bell peppers as well. And these have already been topped, cored, and seeded. When I say topped, I mean de-topped. Go right down the center here. Go. Do our other half really quick here. Now you can use yellow peppers or orange peppers. This isn't by any means concrete. Whichever, again, your palate prefers. I'm doing pretty big chunks. Here we go. And a little bit of garlic here. And as that's cooking down, I'm gonna throw in the ground beef as well and get that browning. Chop up my garlic here. We crush the garlic so that we can get the essence of the spice out. If you leave it whole, it tends not to get the oils working and the flavor doesn't really come out as well. All right, so we'll give this a quick stir. Get all of those things mixed around here. You want to let your vegetables cook for about 2 or 3 minutes, just until your onions start becoming translucent. And then you're going to want to get the ground beef right in there and start browning. So I have 1 pound of ground beef here. You can use ground turkey if you'd like. It has a little less fat content, or you can do super lean beef. Just remember that if you use, the leaner beef you use, the more grease or oil you may have to add to your dish. depending on how well you want it to stick and not stick. I'm just going to mash this up here and start browning our meat. And again, I have my heat on about medium. If you think it's too hot, turn it down a little bit. It's just going to take a little longer to cook with a lower heat. Oh, and what I should have told you at the beginning of this segment is that you should have your oven preheated to 350 or 375. All right, so we're just going to keep going with this and keep the meat browning. And when this is browning up, we're going to start chopping up our pepperoni. And when you're cutting up your pepperoni, a pretty good rule of thumb is to stay right around the same size as a penny or a dime. Something's going to cook quickly. The pepperoni isn't going to be an overwhelming taste. Some pepperoni you buy by the stick and you have this skin or lining on it. It tends to be more tough. You cut your pepperoni in half and it will literally come right off. Leaves your hands a little bit greasy, so have some hot soapy water right at hand so that you can degrease your knife and your hands. You see, we're just going to chop these up here, and we're not going to put them in the pan yet. We'd like our ground beef to be fully browned before we add our pepperoni and tomatoes. And if you don't have pepperoni and you just happen to have Italian sausage or some mild sausage in the fridge, you're welcome to substitute it with that. I really like the taste of the pepperoni. That's my preference. We're going to come back and we're going to stir our meat, make sure it's not burning. Separate it out here. Ooh, pepper down. All right. Mix it. Oh, man, pepper down. All right, it's looking great. Check her out. And ground beef really browns rather quickly. Your peppers are still going to be about halfway done, al dente, by the time you get done. So folks, when we get back, we are going to add our pepperoni and our We're going to add our pepperoni and our tomatoes now. Get sidetracked on myself here. And let this start cooking down. It can cook down for about 8 to 10 minutes, a little longer, just until it starts really forming a sauce. And if the ground beef is a little less cooked, you're all set. So go ahead and stay tuned, folks. We'll be back. Thank you. Buongiorno. Thank you for coming back, folks. Thank you for joining us. Now, before we went on our break, we had started our red sauce. We have red pepper, white onion, 4 Roma tomatoes, and a pound of ground beef. And we started out by sauteing our onions, our peppers, and our garlic in our saute pan, and then we added our ground beef and our pepperoni. And now that it's cooked down for about 10 to 12 minutes, you can see the consistency has really come together here and all that tomato juice is gone now. We're going to come over and start building our casserole dish. So I just have a 8x8 casserole dish, and I've pre-cooked some rigatoni here. We're going to lay it right on the bottom of the pot. There's no need to grease it, casserole dish, excuse me. There is no need to grease it because the oil from your sauce going over it is going to make it so everything doesn't stick. So I'm going to grab a slotted spoon so that I don't pick up any of the excess grease that cooked out of the pepperoni, and just start spooning it on top until I think it's enough. And if you end up having leftover sauce, a lot of times I have leftover sauce, it's perfectly okay to put it in a Ziploc baggie and throw it in the freezer. Don't forget to date it so you don't forget when you made it. But you can bring it out, it'll thaw out quickly in an hour or so, and you can have this dish all over again with a lot less work. We're going to get one more heaping spoon on here because I really love this sauce. No extras in my house. All right. And you can't have a baked casserole without some cheese. So we'll just do some grated Parmesan. Sprinkle it right over. And follow it up with some grated mozzarella. You want to use hard and soft cheese because it's going to give it a balance of flavor. The Parmesan is a more salty cheese, It's going to really stick to the beef and give it a different kind of flavor that's going to be complemented by the creamy gooiness of the mozzarella. And you can think about that with different cheese combinations as well and get fun. All right, now we have it all topped. I got some cheese in the corners here. I'm gonna throw some extra salt and pepper on the top. I'm gonna nix the salt and just do the pepper and throw it in the oven for about 6 to 8 minutes, or right until that cheese is all gooey and melted. We have our oven preheated at 350 degrees, and we set our racks right in the middle. So like I said, that's gonna cook for about 6 to 8 minutes, and then we're gonna come back and pull it out. And like I said, with the rest of our leftover sauce, you can put this right in a bag and throw it in the freezer. It will keep for months and months and months in the freezer. And just again, in case you forgot, we have 16 ounces of spiral pasta. We have a little bit of olive oil to saute our medium white onion, our 2 red bell peppers, and you can use orange or yellow if you prefer, or even green, 1 pound of ground beef, 4 diced Roma tomatoes, and if you don't have the fresh tomatoes, you're welcome to use a can of diced tomatoes, a little bit of red wine, just for some added flavor, and a 4 to 6 ounce stick of pepperoni. You throw that all together, and within 8 to 10 minutes, you have this beautiful sauce going on that we topped our pasta with, a little bit of cheese, and we threw it in the oven. Thank you so much, folks, and when we get back, we will see the end product and get some gooey, delicious pepperoni pasta going. Thank you. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Faces of Italy, folks. Thank you for joining us. I am Chantel, and just a quick review. We started out our episode today with a baked ricotta over a bed of spinach. Absolutely delicious. And we followed up with a basic red sauce, pepperoni pasta, and threw it in the oven to bake with a little mozzarella and Parmesan cheese on the top. Now we're going to finish off the day with a peach, banana, and strawberry smoothie. Now smoothies are really great. It's a super general term for a iced up blended drink. Now we have 3 different fruits we're going to use today, and I'm starting out with my peach. Now my peach is fully ripe, so I am not going to need to really fight with the pit. When they're ripe like this, you can get down in and quarter them and get the rest of the pit right out. You can see here, quick and simple. You can do that with the other one as well. And just have our basic household blender over here that we're going to put everything in. And I'll walk you through what I'm going to put in my smoothie today, and then let you all know about the different variations of the smoothies you can do. I'm going to chop them up in smaller chunks. Now, because the smoothie that I'm doing today doesn't have any ice in it, we went ahead and froze our strawberries. You only need 10 or 15 minutes ahead of time to do this. And that's going to give us our colder texture. I also brought up some plain yogurt. You can also do vanilla or flavored yogurt. It's all fine choices, whatever you have in there. And I'd say I have about 8 ounces here, which is 1 cup if you're buying the little yogurt cups in your grocery. And I've used 8 strawberries and 1 rather large banana. Go ahead and add our strawberries in as well. Oops, a couple stuck there. And I'm going to go ahead and slice up our banana. Now I put my liquid in last so that it seeps down over the fruit. If you put your liquid in your blender first, it's going to blend all of that liquid on the bottom, but it's not really going to bring the fruit down. So try to think about where your blender blades are and how it's going to blend your food the best. Just coins, nothing special. All right. And I've also prepared a little bit of cinnamon and sugar. And the cinnamon is just going to really bring out all of our fruit flavors together, especially with the banana. And the sugar is just for a little added extra sweetness. There we go. I can make this easier and bring this right down here for us as well. And our yogurt. Now again, if you want to cut a few more calories, you could do non-fat or low-fat yogurt. I have full flavor here today. and about a cup of milk. I'm going to start out with half of it, and then if I need more liquid, I'll use it. And you can see how it's running down around the fruit instead of the fruit sitting on top of it. All right, don't forget your cover. Bad news bears if we don't put our cover on. And we're gonna blend it on high speed because those whole strawberries are frozen. Wow, that whipped together real quick and real nice. Not too bad of a consistency. If you'd like it a little thicker, just use less liquid, or you can add a few ice cubes into it if you'd like. We've got our pretty little glasses here. Let's check out that consistency. Velvet perfection. We'll do a second one as well. Send that over to the side. And if you want to impress your friends a little bit, just grab one of your extra strawberries, slice it in half, and throw it right on the side. A little love goes a long way. E bella. All right, let's give it a try. You can taste the banana. It comes through with the strawberries and smooths out with that silky peach. Absolutely amazing. We'll set these right over here. Now, before we went on break, we had our red sauce started for our pepperoni pasta. We're gonna come back now and pull that out of the oven, plate it up and see how we're doing. As you can see, when I bring it out, the cheese has browned, everything's gooey and blended together. It looks great. All right, here we go. Excuse me, got a little turned around here. And our spoon, and we're gonna dip right in. You can serve this with a garden salad, or some steamed broccoli, grilled asparagus, any sort of green vegetable that you think would complement it, that your family enjoys. You can see how everything really blended together, but the meat from the sauce, can't get a hold of that there, stayed right on top. You can see on the inside, everything's blended together real nicely. All right, so we're gonna finish plating this up over here. Whew. And throw a little extra Parmesan on the top. Whew. And here we go, folks. We have a very easy, simple pepperoni pasta, pepperoni pasta sauce over rigatoni. Here we go, folks. Stay tuned. Again, thank you for joining us, folks. My name is Chantel, and this is Faces of Italy. I'm so glad you were here with us. We went over a baked ricotta, over a bed of spinach, and then we went over to the pepperoni penne pasta, and we finished up our day with a peach banana and strawberry smoothie. These are all great selections for your family. Thank you for joining us, and you can catch all these recipes at www.facesofitaly.tv. Thank you again. Ciao. All right, folks, I'm just gonna take a few seconds to tell you about some basic Italian ingredients, fresh herbs that you wanna keep around your kitchen handy. The first one and most important would be our garlic bulb. When we break off the clove, it just looks something like this. Smell the pungent aroma coming through. And then thyme is another one of our favorites. And then our basic basil leaf. And don't forget about oregano and parsley as well. Thank you.